Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So the days on the Cleric healer where you can get your daily power back within about 8 seconds will very shortly be over, as there has been a patch to the preview server which has brought an end to the highly effective rate at which you can animation cancel certain at-wills to gain your daily power back insanely fast. So we done some testing here, and as you can see, this will no longer work for you. You cannot animation cancel the scattering light anymore, which means you're back to the full base duration to get your daily power back with that at-will, and that is 45 seconds when you have like 4% action point gain. That is versus what I get when I am animation cancelling, how it was 16 seconds. When you didn't animation cancel, it was still 45 seconds. So nothing changed in the base regeneration of action points. It just changed the fact that you can no longer animation cancel it. Now there is the other at-will as well, the Blessing of Light, which you could also animation cancel, not as effectively but still doable to gain the action points, and you could gain your action points within about 23 seconds, again on a build with like 4% action point gain. This is getting changed where you won't be able to animation cancel it as effectively. You'll still be able to do it, and I can still get my daily power within 33 seconds instead of, again, 23 seconds. So not the worst, but yes, it's quite a big reduction. I'll leave all my test results in the video description below, but ultimately these are the numbers. This is what your Cleric AP Gain was, and this is what it is now. Yes, without animation cancelling, the Scattering Light, Blessing of Battle, and Sacred Flame all had that 45 seconds to get your action points to full. And that has not changed. What has changed is that you can no longer animation cancel Scattering Light, like at all. In order to get your action points full, you have to cast it for 45 seconds. And with Blessing of Battle, you can still animation cancel it, but a little less effectively. So now you could get it within at best about 33 seconds versus if you didn't animation cancel, 45 seconds. Now additionally, they did change the magnitude of Scattering Light. It was 65 and it is now 70. Not entirely sure why they're doing that. Perhaps to offset a teeny bit the animation cancelling, but that's really not going to, because you were casting Scattering Light like 5+ times per second versus like once. Additionally, they said they made an adjustment to the Guardian of Life, that it will now heal nearby allies and not just party members. We see this via the post of Brett Norton, where it says here, added effect, grants a heal over time effect to self and nearby allies. Currently on the previous server, it still shows nearby party members, and it's the same on the live server. So yeah, they removed the animation cancelling from Scattering Light, and they reduced the effectiveness of that animation cancelling on Blessing of Light. I'm sure we'll get like some more concrete patch notes when the update comes about, probably next Tuesday. But I also did some further testing. I checked Blessing of Battle, and it does not appear to affect the heal over time from Healing Word, and it does not affect Guardian of Life either, the heal over time. So it's only affecting that initial hit, the 450 magnitude, not the 300. Same with the Guardian of Life, it's only affecting the 800 magnitude and not the heal over time of 500. That could be a bug that they potentially could fix to help the Cleric heal a bit more, especially since they're reducing their daily powers. However, Blessing of Battle will affect your Hallowed Ground, just not as you'd expect. Basically, when you cast your Blessing of Battle, it puts this halo on your character. And normally when you cast a heal power, it like removes that halo, and then the bonus is added to that heal. But it's not working again to the heal over time. Even if you cast Blessing of Battle after you've used your Healing Word, it does not affect the heal over time, because it snapshots your stats and bonuses when you actually cast Healing Word. Unlike Hallowed Ground, if you cast Hallowed Ground, you can see like the heal over time's 103 there for me. There you go, 103. I can cast Blessing of Battle now, and that goes up to 109. So it is indeed getting affected by that. And it's not doing it in a snapshot version, it's just considering your stats for every single heal tick. So if your stats change, then so does the heal, which is pretty good. But it won't consume that halo, so you need to remain having that halo for the duration of your hallowed ground to give it that 10% bonus. Which, if you're animation cancelling it for action points, you'll probably have the halo all the time, and you can run like a pacifist build, since there's no point to have Scattering Light unless you just want to support the team with buffs of like your Apocalypse Daggers set or Vistani. They should fix Scattering Light to properly work with Vistani. So I got a character kitted out with the Grace Ring and the Vistani set. You can see they both require you to cast an AoE damaging power that hits only one target to apply their debuffs, increasing your allies' damage against the target. Let's go and cast Scattering Light on this dummy, and we can see it triggers Vistani Curse and the icon of the Grace Ring. That is pretty good. You can now support your team with them dealing extra damage with those bonuses. Now, with the animation cancelling of Scattering Light kind of gone, you have to spend full 0.8 seconds to cast this. It's a bit hard to maintain, let's say, the Marilith set or the Apocalypse set, and let's see the feasibility of that, as the set requires you to hit an enemy with a critical hit and then they will take 1% increased damage, and that only lasts for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So can you maintain all of those stacks when you just attack your target here by holding down your at will? It looks like you can. You can probably still do it fairly well. It's just I would recommend Sacred Flame instead, because it has slightly lower cast time. Since you have the 0.8, but then it goes to 0.7 and 0.65 as the cast times over the threefold hits. So yes, you can use the Marilith set still and the Apocalypse set to support the team with those debuffs. Just not as easy anymore. If I go to, let's say, cast a Healing Word, you can see those stacks drop off, and then by the time I start attacking again, I've lost a bunch of stacks, and then I need a bit of time to get those back. So still feasible, but not as reliable as it was with animation cancelling Scattering Light. So yes, at least now the Cleric has the option of using the Apocalypse and the Marilith set as it did before, but also now using the Grace Ring and the Vistani set. Just keep in mind, there's no point any more than one person using these bonuses, as they do not stack with each other. You want one person in the team using Grace, one person in the team using Vistani, another Marilith, another Apocalypse, and that covers all those set bonuses there. And then of course you want somebody with like the Bard or Warlock debuff armor as well. And then you have all the other stuff like companions, mounts, etc. And yes, they have changed Vistani and Grace so that you can just spam an AoE at will and you're going to refresh those bonuses all the time. Makes it nice and easy. So ultimately what we have for the Cleric changes that I can see is all this. The magnitude change to Scattering Light. Guardian of Life getting adjusted to heal nearby allies. They removed the animation cancelling on Scattering Light, reduced the animation cancelling on Blessing of Light, and Scattering Light will now proc Vistani and Grace. Again, if you want to see the comparison of the action point regeneration, this is at 4%. You were able to get your daily power within 16 seconds with Scattering Light animation cancelling. That has been changed, so now you cannot do that anymore. It's going to take you a full 4 to 5 seconds if you use Scattering Light to get your daily power, and Blessing of Battle was at 23 seconds. It now can still be animation cancelled, but not as effectively, and will take you 33 seconds to do that. If you do get 50% action point regeneration, you can animation cancel Blessing of Battle and get your daily power within 19 seconds. Again, this is at 15% AP gain. So you need to create a build for that. So Cleric will be about 25 seconds, I think, on a usual build to get your daily power, which I don't think is bad. That is similar to a Paladin. Bard is even worse in single target, but insane in AoE. And Warlock, to be honest, I'm not sure about. But ultimately, you have like the best daily powers to heal your entire team just for heal over times and just an insane amount, giving damage resistance as well with like the hollowed ground. So hopefully this is somewhat insightful to you guys. Again, these changes are most likely coming Tuesday or Thursday of the coming week. You will have to adapt your playstyle a little bit. You won't be able to get your action points back as quickly, so you won't be able to crutch on those daily powers as much. Special thank you to all these channel members for their added support, and thank you for watching. See you guys around. Goodbye for now.